Spill the Beans is an upcoming indie detective game in which you take a job at a local cafe and get caught up in a caper regarding the restaurant's stolen recipe. The problem? You were the thief. In this self-described you-done-it, you have to find a way to pin the blame on one of the regular customers, or even staff, to get away with your crime and the recipe. The devs of this game were kind enough to send me early access to the demo, and while it won't affect my review or opinion of the game, it does help me get this video out in a more timely manner, so thank you very much. With that out of the way, let's get into it. The game opens with a snapshot of the player stealing the aforementioned secret recipe, before giving us a bit of context about the world the game takes place in. One in which magic and monsters are commonplace, but besides that, it's not much different than your run-of-the-mill city. Then, you enter the player customization screen, and this is one of my favorite parts of the demo. While I do wish there were more hairstyle options, I loved making my avatar with the color sliders, and there's several pronoun options, even the option to let you set your own custom ones. You fill out the rest of your application with personality traits, and I wasn't sure if this was going to play into anything, but I was pleasantly surprised to find they did reference my answers in some very funny quips during the game. It's such a small thing, but it's so charming and really hammers home the cozy, personal vibe of the game. Speaking of that, the aesthetic of this game is amazing. It's so charming, with this cute, clean art and UI. The music, while nothing that blew me away as of yet, still set the mood rather well. The character designs are pretty nice too. They remind me a lot of Monster High. There's also lots of little animations on the sprites to really push the expressiveness of them, and the game is very dynamic for a visual novel. I especially love this little sketchy transition they use between scenes. After that, we show up to our new job and are greeted by a stone construct and her little bird, Adam. She gives us the rundown of the place, and we're introduced to the main mechanic of the game, the mood system. Based on what we say, we can influence people's moods. This includes making them better allies, more susceptible to pressure in the future, or raising suspicion of them. We then go back and meet Fred, our boss, who nearly smites us on the spot for touching the safe he keeps in the room. After he calms down, we talk a bit, leave, increase Dave's mood because I'm a thief, not a monster, and meet the regular customers of the shop. Starting with Jessie. They're this cute little vampire who belongs to a very rich family. Next to come in is...
Hello, sailor!
This is Alexandra, a siren and social media influencer, and the game's self-described femme fatale. She has my favorite design of the group, and she's easily my favorite character. I don't even care if I get caught with the recipe, I cannot be mean to her. After a telling little interaction between her and Jessie, in comes the third and final customer. Grudge, a skeleton biker and my favorite scapegoat. He's dramatic, he's boy fail, and I love him. With all the key players introduced, the heist moves into action. The details of how it plays out depends on your choices, and that's something I really like about it. There's tons of little details like that make it feel like every decision you make matters at least a little bit. After causing a blackout, the plan is in motion. I didn't take off the apron because we died like men, and we made our way to the safe to pull off the heist. You manage to steal the recipe from the safe, after which Fred locks the place down and places us in charge of solving the case as the demo comes to a close. This game is adorable. It's a short demo, but it's incredibly charming, and I did play through it a couple of times to see some of the alternate dialogue. I hope that the final game does reflect this level of attention to detail. Speaking of details, while I'm sure it's intentional to keep him above the text box, it does look a little bit odd to me to have Fred floating above the table in the cafe scene when he would still be mostly visible if he was positioned right on top of it. But that's a small nitpick as stated. The art direction of this game is awesome, and I highly recommend you check out the demo if it sounds like something that would interest you. Spill the Beans will be launching on Kickstarter, so if it's something you're interested in, be sure to check it out. I've linked their pages in the description of this video. That's all I've got for this review, but be sure to let me know what you think of the game in the comments, and I'll see you next time.